Welcome to Community America Ballpark. I am Matt Fulks, Director of Media Relations, along with, I said that real fast, along with Kris Ketz. And Kris, I'm sure you've never fumbled words on live TV at all.
Especially not in the Matt Fulks suite at Community America Ballpark.
And if the Ellerts weren't here, I'd probably let you play with that, but since they're sitting right over here, I probably shouldn't. Kris Ketz, one of the anchors, the main anchor, as far as I'm concerned, on First News, Channel 9. And you've had a few questions tonight, and I'm just going to start with this. Let's just get this out of the way.
Sure.
With the whole Time Warner, Hearst deal, and you actually apologized to Kenny Hook before the game.
You know what? It was funny. We were in his office before this Saturday night ball game against the Air Hogs, and the first thing your manager says is, "What's the deal with Time Warner?" And I had to explain. Listen, if this was a corporate decision that was made by all of our friends at Hearst Television in New York. And the ironic part about it is where we are situated on the east side of Kansas City, Missouri, Time Warner has a huge complex right across the street. And because these were corporate negotiations, it involved none of us here on the local level. We were literally waiting by the phone and email as to how this was going to play out. But aside from all of the particulars about it, which I don't quite frankly understand, and it's just as well. We're just glad it's over, and I felt somebody had to apologize to Kenny and to all of our viewers as we continue to do. Believe me, nobody wanted this to happen. We certainly did not, but it's over, and we're just glad it's over, and we're just glad we're back, and we're so appreciative of our viewers. Who hung with us over what was obviously a very long 10 days. And as I say, we're just glad it's over, and we're not going to have to worry about this for a long time.
So First News, you guys are on from what, like 5 to 10?
We launch at 4:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. We're on at 5 on Saturday and Sunday. And the interesting thing about we launched at 4:30 it's been a couple of years now. And at the time, there were no shortage of people who said, "Why are you guys going on at 4:30 in the morning? There's probably nobody on. Nobody's awake at that hour of the day." Well, come to find out, there are an awful lot of people who are awake at 4:30 in the morning. This is especially when it comes to television viewing habits. This seems to be a trend, not just in Kansas City, but throughout the country. People are going to bed earlier and they're waking up earlier. And morning television has become such a big deal in stations across the country. It never was the big deal it is now 20 years ago, but now we have poured so much in terms of resources now to our broadcast, which again is on from 4:30 to 7 on KMBC, and then from 7 to 9 on KCWE. So we're on for 4.5 hours, and. But in the 7 to 9 part on KCWE, I mean, it's a great. It gives our viewers another choice. If they want to continue getting local news coverage, they can on KCWE. If they want to turn on to GMA, they can. But they have that choice. And increasingly in this digital age, where there are so many more choices, so many more places that people can go when it comes to television, it's incumbent upon us to be a part of that. And that's why we do what we do.
So you can check them out, and we'll throw in another plug here in a minute. But Kris is here tonight. He threw out the first pitch.
Not very well.
Well, it got there, though.
I bounced it. And I have texted my children that particular fact, and they were absolutely horrified. No, they were. I mean, my 19-year-old in particular warned me. Don't bounce the pitch. Don't bounce, and that's exactly what I did. So it's
a mental thing. He put it in your head that you could bounce.
So it's my son's fault. If there's a way that I can deflect blame, that I'm going to do that. So yeah.
And you'll be singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Yes. Now that should go better. That won't be something that I necessarily need practice at. This is funny because very early I was in high school. I have some experience with minor league baseball. Way back when, where I grew up in the Quad Cities, there is and has been and will continue to be a minor league baseball team. It's the Class A Midwest League affiliate now of the St. Louis Cardinals. But when I was in high school a few years ago, It was an affiliate of the then California Angels, and I was the public address announcer for the Quad City Angels for about 3 seasons. And it was it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. We didn't have the kind of crowds that you guys have on a regular basis, believe me, but a beautiful ballpark that's right on the Mississippi River. And I got $6 a night doing that, but I ended up eating and drinking about $8 a night. So it was a money-losing proposition, but my God, it was so much fun. And from there, I went to worked my way through school on a 1,000-watt radio station in Moline, Illinois, where I did an awful lot of sports. We did an awful lot of high school football and basketball coverage. And I also did a season of Iowa basketball, the 1979-80 season. The Hawks went to the Final Four that year, the Ronnie Lester team. And I worked with our play-by-play man, a gentleman by the name of Greg Schulte, who has been, since day one, the now longtime play-by-play voice of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And and Greg's a great guy, and we still keep in touch, especially when the D-backs are here playing the Royals over at the K. But I started in sports and love it. And though I don't regret making the career decision to go into news when I did, but it was an awful lot of fun.
Well, and you're a big baseball fan. In fact, when I first contacted you about doing this tonight, I used the Cubs mention because you and I share a fandom, I guess you could say, of the Cubs. But
I've been a Cubs fan since 1969, and if you're a Cubs fan, we all know what happened then. I love sports. I love baseball in particular. And I was saying on your broadcast with Brian over on 1660, the KMBC Business Channel. And I don't say this because I'm here with you, but the Kansas City Teen Bones, I think, have done an absolutely marvelous job when it comes to this particular product, how it's priced. And I don't mean to say anything disparagingly about the Kansas City Royals, but it has gotten expensive to go to a Major League Baseball game. It just has. And it's not just in Kansas City, but it's been everywhere. And to have this product here in Kansas City, in a beautiful ballpark like this, CommunityAmerica Ballpark, in a great part of our metropolitan area, where it doesn't cost a family an arm and a leg to go to the game. It doesn't cost an arm and a leg for a beer or a hot dog or popcorn or whatever. Parking's free. This is a very family-friendly setting, fan-friendly setting. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years, but you guys figured it out from day one, and it's just gotten better. And I think you guys are to be congratulated for offering this entertainment option here in Kansas City. And the term "fun well done" from day one, it's never been truer than it is now.
Well, and of course we're biased, but I appreciate you saying that because we agree with that, and we've tried to preach that to people, and it's nice to hear that from somebody else.
Well, and I'm not. It's certainly not breaking news. I mean, the fact that you are drawing the thousands of people that you do a night, people know it, people get it, people have responded to it, and continue to respond to it. And I just think you guys are to be congratulated for. You guys obviously get it, and you figured it out early, and a good thing has just gotten better.
Thank you very much. Now, real quick, because these are always fascinating stories for me, but talk, if you would, just about being a baseball fan and kind of how that started for you.
I suppose like any other kid. I mean, I grew up playing baseball when I was a kid. I wasn't very good at it. But long hot summers up in the Quad Cities in eastern Illinois or western Illinois and eastern Iowa. That's what we did in the neighborhood, and of course that's Cardinal Cubs country. A little bit of Minnesota Twins, but not much, and certainly there aren't Royals fans up there. But the Cub Cardinal rivalry was big way back when. It's still big now, and so when you were growing up as a kid, you were either a Cub, you wanted to be. You wanted to be Ernie Banks, you wanted to be Billy Williams or Ron Santo or Fergie Jenkins or Randy Hundley or Don Kessinger or any of those, Jim Hickman, any of those guys. As I say, we watched it on TV, and it was a big deal when we got to go into Chicago to see a game, a Cubs game or a White Sox game, or it was a big deal if you made the trip down to St. Louis to see a Cardinals game. And I still have I still find myself pinching myself. The fact that I live in a city where there is the kind of baseball that we have, Royals and the T-Bones. because obviously, it was a 3-hour drive into the city to see the Cubs, whereas, you just jump in the car and you just come here, and it's here, and it's great, and it makes me thankful once again that I live in Kansas City.
Very good, and we just can't end it any better than that. So with that, because it's the top of the 7th inning, we're down to 3 outs before you go down. He is Kris Ketz. You can check him out 4:30 a.m. on KMBC and 7 to 9.
7 to 9 on KCWE.
And I don't, Donna, Joel, Chris, great crew, great people too. And we had a chance. Denny Matthews and I did an interview with Joel about a year ago, and just great people. Check them out.
Please do. It's good to be here.